you real quick. I want to enjoy the luxury of like not knowing each other for real.
Hello. Turn this down some.
Hold up.
That Wale playing. Hello. Hope everybody's, what's today? Today is Saturday. Hope everybody's Saturday is going good. I'm speechless. Wow, excuse me. No, I had a video that I wanted to do. This, obviously. And I was wrestling back and forth with it, whether or not I was going to speak on it or not. Because, people tend to, I go in depth with things, but like, I try not to get too like in depth with certain things, especially like when people know, certain aspects of, whatever story and things like that. But I'm gonna share this because that's all I can do is be honest. And so I had a friend. She picked me up and she took me to get my rental because I was gonna come down and chill with my cousin. Now, mind you, before this, I was already going through a couple of things and on my own, I'd heard from several people, hey, you're gonna have to eventually, yada yada yada. You're gonna have to eventually get out of this mode that you in and stuff, and and talking to my moms and talking to a few other people that I trust, my brothers from another and stuff. It came to a point where I was riding with my friend and she was listening to me as we were talking about different things, and she says to me, "You're not the same person I met." And I looked at her and I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're not the same person I met. The person I met was just okay, was happier. You just seemed so angry and bitter and just," and she took back bitter, but she was like, "You just seem so angry and it's all stemming from your past. And your mom and everybody that's telling you you're gonna have to let it go is telling you the truth. And I know you don't want to hear it, but you're going to have to eventually. And honestly, I pray that you do because you're a really good guy and you really need to just let go of certain things." So when she said that, I copped an attitude and stuff, and fast forward. So let's fast forward, and I got into the rental and I started driving, and I sat there and I questioned myself. I questioned myself. What's wrong? What's wrong? Looked in the mirror. What's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you angry? Are you angry, first of all? What's making you angry right now? What's the last thing that's made you angry? And I thought about it. Why did that make you angry? Is that stemming from other things? What's the underlying issue? And I just kept digging and digging and digging. I had, certain music playing, and, I hit a wall. My heart hardened. The stubbornness hit. And you have to really know yourself to know when that happens. So, I began to get stubborn even with myself for asking all these questions. So, I stopped for a second and I played some music, and, it got me emotional, and it got me to soften up. And as I was like softening up, I prayed, said, "Lord, grant me insight. Grant me insight and grant me honesty. Let me be very honest right now with myself, because I have to be honest. Because if I hear one more person say to me, you just angry and you just this, I may blow up on them. Because the last thing a person wants to hear when they think they're not angry is, oh, you're angry. Don't tell me I'm friggin' angry. I'm not angry. You know? And you could very well be angry. It's just deep rooted, and you just happen to not really notice it, you know? So I asked God for insight, and you know, I said, Lord, you know, help me to figure out what this is. And again, it boiled down to, okay, why don't you want what's scaring you about companionship, about ever being with anybody again, and love, and what's angering you about it? And no matter which way I flipped it, no matter which way myself, you know, because you'll try to defend your idiocracy, you'll try to defend your stubbornness, but at the end of the day, it all boiled down to just one thing, one common thing that everyone goes through whenever they experience certain things occur in their life. You don't want to be hurt again. You just don't. It's a survival tactic. And some of us have mastered the survival tactic so well that we'll not necessarily fool ourselves, but sort of like hypnotize ourselves, and it's this huge wall, and the wall could be reinforced with spikes, with cannons, with everything, just any mention of anything that is connected to that thing that hurts you is gonna get attacked. No matter how minute, no matter how big, it's gonna get attacked. And I had to sit there and look at myself and say, Breeze, Mike, what's up, man? Like, what's up? And I'm balling. This is me. I went back to the house, cleaned my face up, you know, got my stuff together, you know, said bye to my brother. My brother prayed for me, and we hit the road. And I hit the road, excuse me, I was by myself. I hit the road. And I'm just sitting there and I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, what is wrong, man? What is wrong? And I just finally was just honest and just said, I don't want to be hurt again. I don't want to be hurt again. I just don't. I don't. And, you know, it once I made it down to my cousin's, and me and him was vibing and talking, and, you know, he was telling me things that, you know, he had been going through, and things that, you know, he'd come to terms with, things that he's grown into, and things and stuff of that nature. You know, I enlightened him, and I said something that I didn't necessarily realize until like recently, and even still, I never really said it out loud to where I can hear myself as I was speaking to him. And I finally said it out loud. I said, because I said, at the end of the day, I'm afraid to be hurt again and stuff. But, you know, and like everybody would be. But I didn't realize how deep it went for me. Because with me, history shows, in my case, a particular situation in which I immediately was infatuated with a person. Immediately. There was no you had me at hello. There wasn't even a hello. It was just, I saw them, and it was you know? And regardless of how long it took, the rest is history, you know? And I sat there and I said to him, and I said out loud, I said, I never realized that what scares me is, what if I never feel that way about anybody else? What if that was the last time I ever experienced fireworks? What if I just one day just say, let me be with somebody, and I just be with them just to be with them. I don't necessarily love them, or I don't necessarily grow to love them, because everybody I've been with that I have loved, I didn't love them right away. I didn't. I grew to love them. And, you know, this person was something else. And at the time, you know, I couldn't get that person off my mind. Regardless of what was going on in my life, I always thought about that person every couple of days or whatever. And, you know, I broke down again in front of my cousin. And I started crying. I was talking, but I was crying, because to say it out loud and to hear it, and to realize that this is me being vulnerable again. This is me being honest with myself in its purest form. No more lying, no more playing mind games on myself, no more of the self-preservation, no more of what is bothering you, Mike, what is bothering you, Breeze. And it hit me. I'm afraid I'll never feel that way about a person again. Because it felt so good. It just was beautiful. See what I'm saying? It was beautiful, man. To have that feeling, to see somebody and to feel that way about it. And, you know, I have my faith, and I talk about it all the time, and I do believe, yes, you know, in the back of my mind, yeah, you know, I don't know what the future holds, so one day I may very well feel that way about somebody again, one day. But I would have never thought the deep rootedness of it, how deep it went for me, and how much it truly scared me. What if I don't feel that way about somebody again? And I had plenty of people that liked me, that, you know, whatever. Not tooting my own horn, I'm just being honest. You know, plenty of people that like me, but I don't feel that way about them. And I'm like, dang, what if one day I just say, let me just get with somebody, just get with them. And I don't want that. I don't want that. And it scared me so much that I wouldn't necessarily lash out, but I would just become colder and just I don't know. Because I don't think I did anything wrong, because I don't think I lied to people. But as far as me, like, this is the part where you have to be selfish, because I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else and their feelings, because I was honest and I let them know what the deal is. But as far as me, I didn't realize how much I was being affected, that I had been affected. And then when I did realize it, I only realized like the surface of it. I didn't realize that, oh, not only do you not want to be hurt again, but you're also scared that you won't ever feel that way again. Ever. Even if you want to, even if you will open yourself up to, that you won't ever feel that strongly for somebody again. And it's a trip. So I say that to say, if that took me bawling my eyes out, having multiple people tell me, you need to let that go, you need to let things go, I don't know what you got that anger, and they touch the surface with the anger as far as other avenues, because I would address that with myself, I would address that with God and stuff, but it was more. and it just was more. And it's just, no matter how much I try to talk myself up, at the end of the day, I had to be honest with myself and say, this is where your mind is, and this is why you feel this way. And this is what's adding to everything else. So everything else is already at level 100, but the underlying thing that's keeping the flame going, I'm not addressing. I'm not blowing that flame out. And that's why every couple of months I would get over being angry and then turn around and be angry about something else again. Not realizing that I'm still harboring this fear from a situation that had happened. Not realizing that that fear would manifest into me defending myself at all costs, no matter what, no matter who was around, no matter whose feelings got hurt or whatever, or this or that, no matter if it was detrimental to me, because my defense mechanism is anger. It's just defend myself. So, you know, I've already stated that I'm a very emotional man. I ain't no punk. Don't try me. But I'm a very emotional man. I'm very in tune with who I am. And with that being said, I tend to harbor things. I tend to take things personal. I tend to, you know, I always want peace of mind. Like I said, I don't want nobody bothering my peace of mind. And even with myself. And what's so funny is I cried and I addressed it with myself, and I said it to my cousin, and I chilled and I said it, and I feel better. I feel better. There could very well be more that I gotta keep digging, but at this moment, and since the moments happened and stuff, I feel much better. So I know I took a right step. Regardless if that's the whole thing or not, I know I took a step in the right direction. To acknowledge, to address. Now the thing is to pray and to talk to God and just live. Just live. See, there's a difference between living. There's a difference between. I just read this meme. I just saw it. Somebody just posted it, and you know what? It's perfect. A person that was raised to look at the world through love versus a person that was raised to look at the world as through survival tactics. So the way I look at this is living in survival mode, it takes a toll on you, because we already do that for the majority of the time anyway, as far as work goes and jobs and trying to beat this rat race that we're all running. Now just add on the extra emotional baggage, man, and that just gets to you after a while. But living life, seeing the world through love, and seeing the world through peaceful eyes, and just being in a peaceful state, and just letting go what cannot be changed, and learning from experiences, and not letting them turn you into a golem. It just makes the days easier, man. It makes breathing better. See me? You understand? So I'm gonna keep doing these, and I'm gonna keep being honest with you people, because I have to show y'all that you have to be honest with yourself in order to be a better you. Because if I wasn't honest with myself, how the hell can I be honest with the next person? I thank God for anybody that has been touched by any of my videos. I thank God for anybody that watches my videos and takes a lesson from it and just keeps it moving. And I just pray that wisdom exit my mouth. I was just told recently that I'm a poet by somebody I just met. They were really cool. It was interesting. I don't consider myself deep. I don't consider myself a poet. None of that stuff. I just talk. But to see her reaction to certain things that I said, it was uplifting. It was quite it was nice. So just to think that other people may be feeling that way about videos that I shoot and just stuff that I say, it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So, you know, until God is like, you know, hey, you know, stop doing the videos, I'm gonna keep doing them. And I don't care if I cover the same topic 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13 times, because at the end of the day, if you heard it already, the next person may need to hear it, you know? And whatever time I said it, the next time it could be a completely different situation. So, you know, it's always a pleasure. Always. Have a great weekend.